of them can hang, running with the gang. No need to explain. I pull up and it's they cannot contain me moving through the lane. Every little setback, I step back and then it's none of them can hang, running with the gang. No need to explain. I pull up and it's they cannot contain me moving through the lane. Every little setback, I step back and then it's I gave them nuggets of knowledge. They tried to put nicks in my armor, but I've been mellow since college. Made this vixen a mama.
Surprise! We are having a random podcast coming on right now. We just needed to give our post-game reactions like ASAP. So you know what? We're going to bring everybody in right now. We're going to bring Amit. We're going to bring Jay in just for this post-game Game 3 win, 114-111 that saw both of Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton get 28 points. Y'all wanted to do this, so take it away. Amit, what stood out to you, dog?
Well, bro, I mean, first of all, I'm watching the highlights on the screen over here. This was just a gritty win for the Suns. It's what they do. From a Pelicans perspective, I thought they were imploding in the second quarter with all the technicals and just like stupid fouls and everything that they were doing. They pulled it together in the second half in the third quarter. I'm assuming that Willie Green like talked to them and said like, look, we just got to calm down, focus, do what we got to do.
Hell yeah,
Roy, what's up, dog? And then, it was CP3, man. Every time I watch him now, I'm just like, this guy is the second greatest point guard in NBA history. Am I wrong?
I can't really argue with it. It's your preference at the end of the day.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to get into that argument, you look at the top point guards. You're talking about Jason Kidd and John Stockton, Gary Payton, right? Those are the tops, and Magic, and then Steph Curry to a point. So Kidd, Stockton, they never led their team to a title. You know what I mean? Chris Paul could lead one this year. So you know what? Yeah.
I mean, I'm again, like when we did the Twitter space a couple of days ago after the last game, I was just saying, like, if you just take CP3's Phoenix Suns highlights and just if you said that this is the second greatest point guard, I don't think anybody complained. I don't think anybody would be like, yeah, you're wrong. But then if you add in Clippers and New Orleans and OKC, you'd be like, okay, yeah, I understand. Like, guarantee this guy's number 2 because he's doing it. And that's the thing is like every time LeBron does anything, it's like, oh, he's fucking 34 or whatever he is, 38, 30, 40, whatever it is. And everyone's like, oh, it's great, but the team is in the playoffs. This guy's doing it in the playoffs every year.
Yeah. Hadn't won a title yet, though. That's my pessimistic view, though.
No, I get it. That, I mean, and you could say same thing about Nash, right?
Yeah.
Like we talked about Nash, and he was awesome. He's probably, in my mind, like top 4 point guards of all time. But yeah, he never got to the finals.
No. Can we talk about New Orleans having the best shooting night of their season in Game 2, and we have our worst shooting night of the season in Game 3? Can we talk about how like
they made 7 more threes than we did in this game? 7.
Yeah.
Everybody talked about like they're never going to shoot that again. Obviously they didn't, but nobody thought like, well, maybe we would have our worst shooting night. You know what I mean? And it just happened. So I don't know. I still see a lot of flaws and things to fix. Obviously, nothing is perfect. We have yet to play our best game of basketball, which is also exciting. So I'm a little more reserved and I feel more relieved than anything, y'all. Pop off if I'm wrong.
No, I mean, dude, you're right. Like we are good. We are good because our next game's Monday, correct?
Sunday.
Sunday.
Oh,
Sunday at 7:30.
Then back to Phoenix Tuesday.
So I guess it must be on NBA TV because they didn't promote it on the other podcast.
I think it's ABC.
Is it ABC? They didn't promote it.
Okay.
But anyways, I mean, like Ayton not getting any touches in the second half. Like he got like one touch.
Despicable.
Stupid.
Despicable.
Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah, JJ, go.
Yeah. I mean, the first half, it was a DA field day, man. Like, I hopped on the Suns Jam Twitter space at halftime, and we were talking about DeAndre Ayton's performance in the first half, and yeah, it was incredible. But that 4-26 from the three was just awful. And then like we'll hit a mid jumper every now and then. And I was just like, dude, we can't get any offensive momentum. And then when we went up by 12, like the Pelicans came roaring back in the top of the third, and Monty didn't call a timeout. And I'm like, come on, dude. Like, if they cut it down to 5, that's when you call a timeout, dude. Like there was no offensive rhythm between each team.
Yeah, it was up and down, dog.
Yeah, like a BI couldn't find like his spots. He was contested a lot of the times, but as soon as we went ISO ball with Jay couldn't defend Brandon Ingram, and he just brought him back into the game. And it was just all this back and forth stuff. But with DA not getting little to no touches in the second half was absolutely dumb as fuck. Monty, you got to fix that, man, because he was cooking Nance, he was cooking Valanciunas, despite them practically fouling him every time, but not getting the whistle. But we don't need to get into that. But a DA was going off, and he was finding his own shot. He was finding his own rhythm. He was driving. He was just his post moves were there, and he was letting go of that sky hook just about every time. It was just with finesse. And with
how about that fadeaway at the end of the first half?
Oh, beautiful, man. It was
with the
great way to close.
And then turn around with the bobble, and he hit it.
Yeah, with the shoulder. Like DA was eating, and I thought it was going to continue to the second half, but this goes into the biggest issue that we've talked about the last 2 years with this team is like this off and on feeding Aiden and stuff. Like if someone's having a good game, if Booker's having a good game, we're just going to keep on feeding him. So like, how come we can't do the same for Aiden, especially if he's abusing these one-on-one matchups, man? Like they sent Murphy at him a couple times, Herb Jones. They couldn't stop him, and they just stopped feeding him. And I don't care if they try to double. Aiden knows when to pass back out. And then there's Cam Johnson at the wing that only got a couple of shots tonight, and just because he couldn't create for himself. So like DA knew if the double was coming, he was passing it out. Obviously, we weren't hitting our shots, but I'll take a wide open 3 over like a contested interior shot. But like from start to finish, Aiden was fantastic. His defense was great. He did take small periods off, but he was all over Valanciunas. He couldn't really get anything going. I haven't looked at the rebound
28 and 17 for DeAndre Ayton. They had 45 boards. We had 35 overall. We did take more shots for what it's worth.
Yeah.
So put that there, but yeah. Oh, but one more stat. They had 14 turnovers. We had 5.
Yeah, so that's like the biggest.
Difference. That's incredible, actually.
That was the difference because
that's with Chris Paul playing 40 minutes too.
Yeah, and I if I believe what they were saying on the stats, like he didn't have any turnovers, right?
At that time,
that's
yeah,
correct.
No,
that's
I don't
correct.
think he had
zero turnovers.
So he had like 13 assists or something with no.
He also didn't have a block in the game, so come on, Amit.
I'm sure he had a couple steals. I saw a couple of them.
One,
yeah,
one.
But again, like we expected a Chris Paul dominant game, which we got to a certain extent. But I wanted him to be a lot more physical in the first. Like if like I know you're trying to facilitate, but if the shot ain't dropping, just stop facilitating, create your own shot, have these double screens going so you can get to your spots and stuff. But like if Chris Paul was able to score like crazy in the first and score like this in the fourth, I feel like we'll be talking about a different game right now. But
I think if we make our threes, this game's over. Like we're not even close.
Absolutely.
If we made 4 more threes, we shoot 30%.
It's a blowout.
And that's an extra 12 points, and we win by 14, right? And remember, they hit that 3 at the very end, and they hit like 3 threes in the final 30 seconds.
Yeah. And a lot of our shots, I was watching it, I'm like, these are wide open. Like these are the shots that we want. Like these aren't like, let's say like somebody driving to the rim and just trying to force something up, like Cam Johnson or Mikal Bridges or anybody else. These were like shots that we just shoot them and we make them. It's in the system.
Yeah.
We didn't make them.
Campaign missing shots still, missing threes, missing layups,
Campaign,
smoking by dudes.
Dude, Campaign.
And he can't finish. Like, God, please give me Aaron Holiday. Give me Aaron Holiday. Ugh.
Let Payne work back his minutes, man. Like, it's not working right now.
No, exactly. And Jay Crowder finally hit one at the end, but that actually counted as a 2. Let's hope that still gets him out of his mind. I mean, we've survived 3 awful Jay Crowder games. Everybody knew last year.
Like we talk about his shooting as bad, but look, dude. Like I'll say this, and it kind of crosses over any level of basketball. When you when everybody knows you can shoot and you can't shoot, the shots aren't going in for whatever reason. You can do other things on the court, but at the same time, your team does not tell you to stop shooting. They tell you to keep shooting, bro.
I mean, yeah,
shooting the ball. You know what I mean?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
And Jay Crowder has been one of those guys that always hits it when we need it. And he gets those steals. He lays on the ground. He blocks a shot. He deflects a ball. I mean, like Jay Crowder is my spirit animal. Like the way he stays calm. And to be honest with you, like that whole flagrant thing, like honestly, like he wasn't even mad, but he got up just to create a situation for the referees to call something. Because
you think so?
Like I didn't get a call. What the fuck? I'm gonna try and instigate maybe a fight with this guy and see what happens, just so that like maybe they'll review it. But I mean, Jay Crowder reminds me a lot of how I play basketball. So I love Jay Crowder.
You go 2 for 15 from 3? I'm kidding.
I can't.
I'm kidding.
The next game.
I can also do that. I venture that Jay can also do that.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm praying for it.
Can we talk about the Jackson Hayes thing? I meant we already spoke beforehand. Who was it that was it Herb Jones?
Yeah, that jumped
in front of DA, got him with the elbow, shoulder at the end, right? I don't remember anything significant in game 2. Game 3 tonight, Jackson Hayes happens, and right at the end, Larry Nance bowls over Cam Johnson so he goes to the free throw line, and that's when Cam misses too. So, are we talking about a dirty team here? Is this a dirty team, Jay?
I mean, there's a lot of questionable things, but yeah, that whole transition with Jackson Hayes. First, it was that Mikal. I think it was an and one. It was that Shaman. It was that Shaman dunk, and God, beautiful dunk, dude. Oh my God! But yeah, so Sham had 2 of those, but so Sham yammed it on Jackson Hayes. Of course, he's salty. I would be too, but. Get back on defense, bro.
What's up, Justin?
Anyway, what's up, Justin? Then Mikal, he's talking like, yeah. And then Alvarado shoves the fuck out of Mikal, which should be a tech, but, whatever. And then all of a sudden Jackson Hayes feels all tough and gets in Mikal's face. And I'm like, you just got yammed on. Go back on defense, man. Or offense. It's your ball. So, then with the Jay Crowder thing, dude, the stream I was listening to, it was through the Bally Sports New Orleans, and I was listening. Yeah, so I was listening. Like I like listening to the opponent's broadcasters just to see if they're good or not. These 2 are not. So, the 2 that they had on was Joel Myers and Antonio Daniels.
And that guy used to be a Laker broadcaster, so I know that guy and he sucks.
Yes, he's absolutely awful. So. Like when that Jackson Hayes thing happened, like they were reviewing it, like Jackson Hayes fully trucking Jay, and both of them are like, well, there's like nothing there, like, and that's just a regular play, and he's making a play on the ball, and I'm like, dude, like, are you serious? Even if it's like unintentional and he was actually trying to make a play on the ball, that's still a fucking foul. And then just Jackson, like it's just causing a bunch of shit. And I'm glad Jay Crowder like stirred the pot a bit because that was kind of the momentum shift.
It needed
That's
to,
when
because they
the
weren't gonna
offense
call it.
slowed down
They
for
weren't gonna call it.
New Orleans and stuff. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we weren't getting those pesky calls, even though we were getting all the ticky tack ones.
My wife's watching, and she looks up like right as Jay Crowder is going at him. She's like, "Whoa, what is he doing? You don't want to get a tech now. Oh, he needs to back off." I'm like, "No, you got to watch." But he's walking up. No, you got to watch. No, but he's literally you got to watch. And then the replay comes on. Oh,
I would have did the same thing Jay did, man.
It's not as obvious to like a lot of people because I was trying to show my son because last year when Joker like went at campaign and slapped him down, and it was like such an obvious like he tried to punch him in the head, right? And I tried to show my son the same play, and he's just like, yeah, but like he's like, I do that shit already. Like it was just like I'm like, bro, you can't do that. You can't intentionally hurt the other people.
Man, that happened in a high school game one time. Somebody undercut someone going up for a layup intentionally, came in the locker room. Yeah, I meant to do that. I'm just like, fuck, man. All right, do you pop off? That's fine. But listen, DeAndre Ayton all of a sudden has fucking dribble drive moves. All of a sudden he has a turnaround fadeaway jumper.
Kept it in the bag.
He hit a 3 early on. I swear I thought tonight was going to be the night. With nobody else shooting, DA would be the one to go for 2 for 2. I swear tonight was the night he was going to hit 2. It's going to happen in the playoffs. But, man, he is from the beginning of the year when he didn't even have a hook shot to what he is now on it. And you and I have talked about this, about him coming out of college and his offensive game, how it stuttered for 3 years until what? January 13th, he randomly found a hook shot, and then he's built everything off that in a matter of what is that, 4 months, 5 months?
Mm.
Give him his bag. Give him his bag.
You have to.
He's been hiding things from us. He's been sneaking on us, man.
He's been working, man. It shows that he's working.
Hey, Chris, if you want to join, man, let us know. If you got some thoughts, let us know. I'll send you a link, but let me know in the chat here if you want to hop on.
God damn.
Yeah, no, go off on DA. Like, dude, this was his best offensive performance. I mean, not points wise, but skill wise. You know,
all around.
Like when he shoots his jump shot, there's no hesitation. He gives you that jab fake and then he puts it up, and it seems to always go in. You know, and even with that push shot, which is the one I'm like questionable about, where I'm like, but he makes it more than 50% of the time. You can look that up. So, and then he always gets a roll. Somehow, him and Chris Paul always get the roll. It just rolls around and goes in.
Soft touch.
And they got it. And to me, I'm just like, yo, you got to pay that.
Hey, shout out Super Mario Hoops. What's going on, man? Baloney Basketball, thanks, Sons and 5. Attaboy. Appreciate you. Everybody go check out his channel too. Sorry, I had to.
No, I mean, I'm just, if we can continue to put the offense through Ayton that way, let him be the guy, because he should have had 40 points this game. Like he really did.
Absolutely.
And I know he missed a couple shots, and then he probably didn't get a couple possessions in the fourth quarter. He should have had 40. If Booker doesn't come back in game 4, he's got to have another performance like this.
You rest Book now. Now that you had to split here. You just had to split. I know.
We can push it to game 5. If we win the next one, there's no reason to bring Book back yet.
Chat, what do you guys think? If Book is 75%, 80%, do you take him at 80% or do you let him rest? Chat, I'm curious. But Amit, do you think play him no matter what? I mean, he's not hobbling around or anything. He doesn't look like it's this huge thing and he's limping. So that's good.
Look, he got hurt in game 3 or 4 last year, right? And he played game 3. So he put up 2 40-point games after that.
And he didn't come out of that game either.
No, he missed the fourth quarter of that game. So whatever game it was,
I don't remember.
He got hurt. He missed the fourth quarter. That we learned that later on that he was hurt. He played the next 2 games, got 40-point games, and then he had a shitty game in game 6. So if Book can play and I'm looking at like what's happening with the next series, assuming that Dallas is probably going to win in 4. I think you have to have them ready.
Yeah, I agree with you on it, but yeah, just to go off of what Dallas is doing, they're winning without Luka. Jalen Brunson's kind of put the team on his back, especially with Spencer Dinwiddie, Bertans is, whatever, but Tim Hardaway too. Like they're all, pinching in and winning these games. So Luka can just sit back, come back 100%, and I think the Suns team can do that too. If we win Sunday and we go back to Phoenix for game 5, if Booker wants to come back and he's physically there, like he can come back and just be on a minutes restriction. But like if we win Sunday, I don't see a point of bringing him so early if he's not 100%.
And kind of speaking of Book being out, man, what'd y'all think of Cam starting and then Landry starting in the second half?
I liked I liked how short both of their runs were when it just came to just minutes. Cam Johnson, he's not entirely used to filling in for Book like that. He couldn't find his shot. I think the Pelicans knew his spots and really contested that. Cam didn't really get going, but Shamit right away was impactful on defense. CJ was only able to score from the midi. But Sham kept them off the line, which was big. I want to give him a shout out. But just overall, just shooting wasn't there. I think if we go in with the same lineup again, I think it will be a little different. I think Cam Johnson will actually sink more. I think he had 2 tonight. But with Shamit, we just got to hope that he plays solid defense and he doesn't cause turnovers and isn't a liability on offense. If he's shooting wide open threes, I mean, that's best case scenario, if it goes in or not.
Did y'all know this? I'm trying to share my screen real quick. Boom. Jackson Hayes being sued for assault, battery, and by an Instagram model.
No, I didn't see that, but
I don't know. I don't like. I guess I'm saying I don't like doing it, and then I'm doing it. Here I am. I don't like going into people's lives like that, and here I am fucking posting it on my own podcast, right? But I don't think this is far off from what we've kind of seen from him in this series. I don't think something like that is far off. If I'm being 100 with y'all.
Is he a Michigan boy? One of your Michigan boys?
No, he went to Texas.
Did he go to Texas? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, look, dude, like these guys are young. Like,
yeah,
dude, I mean, they don't know how to play in playoff games. Like, I honestly, like, I've done the same thing, and I hate to like try to like make myself an NBA player, but playing in like leagues where like you just trip guys, or you try to like knock somebody off and not get called, and try to get away with it just because you're not as good as the other player. I mean, it happens. Like you try to do it if you're trying to win, and especially when you're younger, And he got mad because Mikhail or
Shamit
dunked in his face. Mikhail got in his head, and then he got mad, and then it carried over, And then Jay started talking to him, and Jay's going to get in his head because Jay's a vet. He's going to talk shit. So I mean, I'm not gonna call him a dirty player. I don't want to say that to him. I think he's
playing reckless.
Yeah, but there's been 3
reckless.
cases. There's been 3 cases of this type of shit now in 3 games, right? So at what point?
I mean, is it the same thing as like Grayson Allen or Pat Bev though?
Grayson Allen is just a magnet for that stuff.
It's not.
Grayson Allen does not deserve to play in the NBA the way he plays.
Correct. We knew that. We knew that with him coming out of college. We knew that.
Yes.
Nothing's changed.
And I would say the same thing about Pat Bev. He does not deserve to play in the NBA because he is reckless. 100%. He does not care about the game and the sportsmanship. He cares about his own ego.
He cares about being the dude getting under your skin and priding himself on that because he's way less talented. Yes. Right?
Yeah. The skill gap is insane. So, just Jackson Hayes, he's just playing really reckless. But I have like a bigger problem of like
What's up, Tim?
how Valanciunas plays, like just constant elbows and shoving in the back. But Da gets called for just resting his hands on his waist, then going up to grab a rebound. But Valanciunas can just full on elbow you and stuff, and he just gets away with it consistently.
And check this out though. Ayton only had 2 personal fouls tonight.
Really?
Go figure. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought he had like 3 or 4.
He had 2 personal
like other
fouls.
people raised their hand and took the foul so he wouldn't get it. Like Jay,
Oh.
I think Jay once.
Jay had it like twice. He had 5 fouls.
Yeah.
What a Jay game.
But with all those free throws at the end, Chris Paul making, I think, 4 to 6 in a row. Mikal had to make 4. Cam Johnson shot 2. So that's what, 10, 12 shots right there?
Yeah.
They had 31 free throws to our 27. You take away all of those in the last 75 seconds, it was 31 to 14. It's just, it's kind of funny that we still win after all this. I mean, I got to be honest, though.
If 4 threes. We made
and we only made 4 threes. But I got to be honest, I'm still worried about this team when Jackson Hayes does come back, man. The game did change, and it changed in our favor. And I'm not going to apologize to anybody about that because he shouldn't have done what he did. But he was a problem, and we still did not see a double big lineup.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about Jackson Hayes. He's not going to be the difference maker in this series. I think Devontae Graham or Alvarado, like those are the guys that can make a difference. Because
Alvarado minutes.
Alvarado 4 for 6 for 9 points, 1 3, 3 for 6 from 3 from Devontae Graham, and he had 3 foul shots. 13 minutes, 12 points. That's a dude I wanted at one point on the Suns.
What? Who?
I wanted a lot.
Alvarado?
Devontae Graham. But
okay.
I wanted a lot of players back in the day.
Yeah, it's just like those Jose Alvarado minutes, man. Like I don't even think CJ was checked in. Like I think BI only played like 4 minutes within that time span.
Cooking.
But I was like, are you serious?
And the Diamondbacks just lost, by the way, in the 10th inning, 6-5. So our 2-game win streak has come to an end.
But like I knew as soon as Devontae Graham hit those couple free throws, I knew a 3 was coming. And like, what do you know? It happened like back to back. And I was just like, yeah, here we go. But luckily, he didn't get any traction after that. And I really want to talk about the fourth. Besides Chris Paul's, shooting, we can go on all day about that. But him knowing that, recognizing the defense and wanting the double to come to him, and then they can just swing the ball around for the easy twos. I mean, I'm surprised Willie Green didn't pick that up sooner. Like we did that for like 5 straight minutes.
Yeah.
I was watching that same thing, and I mean, Chris Paul just put on a masterclass on like he just knew what he wanted, where he wanted to get the ball. He was moving people to corners. He was telling people it's too early in the shot clock, just back up. But I mean, and then just making all those shots on top of that and getting the roll every time. Like he was getting the roll on every shot.
Yep.
It was just working in his favor, and Da was always in the right spot. And Mikal slashed a couple times at the end too. That kind of was the difference maker too.
I would have liked to seen like Da getting like 1 or 2 more possessions in that, but he didn't get it. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
I just saw the worst chugging with the fellas, and I really want to share it with all of you. And I don't know why I can't share with audio. That is just tripping me out because I want to hear it. But here we go. Y'all got to watch this.
Diet Coke.
Can anybody hear it?
No, but it's fine.
Diet Coke, man.
I know. This is why it's the worst chugging with the fellas of all time.
Oh, it's not even open yet? Oh, shit.
Okay. And the baby. Oh, there's a little girl. It's the worst chugging with the fellas ever.
Man, I hope they don't watch the podcast.
But watch the one on the front. I can't.
Dude, she just took a sip. What the fuck?
You drink Diet Coke. What are you thinking? You can't chug that shit.
She took like one sip. Man, that guy's doing it with a
I was
Dr.
chugging a
Pepper.
Coke.
He just like the Dr. Pepper is worse, honestly. Like
and then
open that and chug it.
as it goes away, the guy in the back says Suns in 4, and I closed it. I'm like, it can't go in 4.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
that was the worst chugging of the fellas all time. But it's for a good cause. It's for a good cause. It's for a good cause. What other thoughts do you have? I'm not sold on this series. I'm not comfortable. I'm not like, yeah, go Suns yet. I have my reservations, and as we all should. This still isn't the Suns team that we've seen. So a win is a win is a win is a win, and it's better to be on this side than the other side. But that's just where I'm at if I'm keeping it honest.
I mean, I saw a lot of championship plays from Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, even though he didn't make shots, CB3, where people were diving on the floor, getting offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds. Ayton just balled out, and it really, like, he got every rebound that he could get his hands on. He got all those rebounds.
Yeah.
He was snatching them.
Yeah.
Away from people. And, in terms of like what we can do better is we can shoot better. And we haven't seen that yet. We haven't seen the 5 for 9. Dude, can you imagine if we get a 5 for 9, Jay Crowder and Cam Johnson in the same game? Like that's lights out.
And at 1 for 3 campaign.
If he hits just one, I know the confidence will be back.
Just don't do the stupid layups, man. Just play the game.
Dude, I guarantee you Aaron Holiday can go out right now and go 3 for 5.
I guarantee you too. I 100% agree with that.
Holiday plays smart, man. He doesn't play like reckless.
But you know what? He doesn't get rebounds like Campaign does. Campaign goes down low and gets rebounds. He guards post players. He makes plays. Like he when he makes a mistake, he tries extra hard on defense to make up for it. And rarely does that end up in him being called for a foul. It's usually like a deflection out of bounds, or worst case scenario, like he overplays a guy and then ends up going into like a 2-for-1 situation where there's like 2-on-1 players. But it's not like one of those things where he's killing the team. Like he's trying really hard.
He killed the team tonight. I mean, the second he got in,
killed the team with some 3 shots that he took.
Missed 3, foul that led to something, turnover, and then a missed layup. Like there was like 4 or 5 straight possessions where it was all because of him.
Yeah.
And he took that layup. I know what layup you're taking. The layup. You're talking about the layup at the end of the first half where he was trying to go for like the 3-for-1.
Yeah.
Like the Chris Paul thing where you try to go for 3-for-1. So he tried to take the actual layup and it didn't work.
And the one at the end of the third quarter when he blew by his dude and just completely smoked the layup.
Yeah.
I remember that one.
I think it was Nance or something. Hey,
that one
so I want to play a game with y'all. It's called Guess This Sun. Tonight's Phoenix Sun player had 10 minutes, 0 points, 0 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, and a team leading minus 15.
Torrey Craig.
We're Torrey.
Good shit on it. Good shit on it. No. I could have told you that.
Yeah.
Remember when Torrey Craig was getting 10 points and shooting 2 of 3 from 3, and he'd throw in like 3-4 rebounds and an assist or 2? What happened?
Remember that alley-oop against the Nuggets? Like, what happened to that? Where is that?
Remember when he was flying to New Orleans with the team? He had on the most Phoenix Sunsy swag that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And then he comes up and he pulls a Jay Crowder. He pulls a worse than Jay Crowder. At least Jay Crowder scored a point. Shit.
Yeah, the shots weren't there for Torrey. I mean, like, he just didn't fit into this game like that. I think it was just
he should.
He just doesn't match up well, in my opinion.
If he can guard, why? If he can guard Paul George, why did everyone let Brandon Ingram shoot for 11 for 19?
So he started the game 4 for 10, right? So they played good defensive in the first half. Second half, he just cut on fire.
Speak to me, Bees. Bees speaks my love language right here. Look at that.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
some nice elbow sets. Oh yeah, that does it for me.
Setting it up, and you could see Chris Paul. He was doing this. He was doing snap. He's like doing fist. He was making it out. You could see when he was setting it up, and everybody else was trying to catch up. But in terms of Torrey Craig, I mean, defensively, I think he did as well as he could. Offensively, his game sucks. I mean, it sucks.
Well, we know that he's a slasher and he can hit a 3 every once in a while, right? Anything you get from him is a bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the problem is
for rebounding and defense.
Shooting 40% last year.
Yeah, man. Let me see what he was shooting as a Sun since he came here.
But I'm not going to kill Torrey Craig like that just because I think it was really.
It's 3 games, though. We have to. It's 3 games, right?
No. Well, like with Monty, like he, for some reason, is just allowing these ISO situations with Brandon Ingram, which is like the dumbest fucking thing to do because he's built like KD and he can just take those shots like all day long. So I think just overall defensive wise, that was just a bad, stretch because Jay was on
in 3 games. He hasn't scored in 3 games.
That's fine.
He's averaging 0.5 rebounds.
That's the problem.
Yeah, he needs to do more on the boards.
He needs to do something.
You gotta foul some motherfuckers, man.
He needs to do something. He averages 1 steal and 1 assist, a half a block, and a half a rebound. And his stats weren't any better tonight. Screen the screener. Pick the picker.
Yeah.
Pick the picker. He's like easy stuff.
Yeah, putting Brandon Ingram in an ISO, like that's just the dumbest fucking thing you can possibly do. I don't know why Monty ran that for 10 minutes.
I still want to see JaVale and Biyombo or some sort of double bigs and have elevator screen after elevator screen and then have both bigs come up on each side so Chris Paul could play either side. He would have 2 dudes to mess around with and just play with, I'm going to go left this time. I'm going to go right this time. And that was space. Then you put your Mikal or Cam Johnson in the corner too. That would
just
be
for
sexy.
5 minutes, man. Just for 5 minutes.
Put DeAndre Ayton on Ingram for once. Then you put JaVale or Biz on Jonas.
So hold up. So are we saying that this Pelicans team that won 36 games, that Ingram
doesn't matter?
Well, it does matter because that tells you tendencies on how they play the whole season. Even if they played good towards the end.
You can't do it until McCollum joined because their team completely transformed when McCollum joined. And you have to bring in the X factor that Willie Green coached with Monty for 3 damn years. And that's like the ultimate trump card in a way. No pun intended.
I mean, that's an X factor or whatever, right? Like that gives them an advantage in terms of like, okay, we're playing a team that's better than us. But are we seriously considering this team to be like Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving?
No, absolutely not.
No, I just think they have our number to a point. It's just one of those teams that have our number. We had trouble with them in the regular season too before CJ McCollum. They blew us out by like 40 last year.
3-1.
Huh?
We beat them 3-1 this year.
And we had trouble with them. They blew us out 1 game. We had trouble in. I'm not treating them like that. I just think it's a tough matchup for what we are. That's all it is. And it's just one of the. This team would beat the Mavericks. They would beat the Jazz. They would beat the Nuggets. They would beat those teams right now.
I don't know about that. I don't think they match up.
So?
No, I think they match up better for us because, like, we don't have like the typical person that can guard somebody like Brandon Ingram because he's so long and just physical. We don't like if it was like a Dame or somebody else. Like, yeah, we can or Luka, right? Like, I mean, we know how Luka does against Mikal. He's just longer and he's got that mid range game down. He's like a KD type player. I'm not saying he's anything like that or comparing him and CJ to that. But I'm just saying, like,
this is
they have a specific matchup and they have a coach that worked for us and he knows our system. And they have players that just kind of get under our skin, right? Like Valanciunas, like that guy, he just somehow finds a way to get all his offensive rebounds, even though we're, playing defense and trying to get the defensive rebound. My thing is like, if they played some of these other teams, Valanciunas isn't going to be on the court. There's no way if he played the Mavs, he's on the court. Like they play him off the court. if he played, who else?
That's because I think that's more because of they're a running team. Something that me and Jay on Wednesday said that we wanted. Like, we need to get out and go even more, and we can play them off a little bit. But we're not doing that. We're also slowing it down way more than we ever did in the regular season.
Yeah.
No, we are. We're definitely slowing it down, and
it's like Monty's training us to be in playoff mode or something. Sorry, go ahead.
No, he did. I mean, there was a point in the third quarter where things started speeding up and it started going back and forth. And I think that's when we took the lead, is when they tried to take it out of bounds and try to keep pace. And we just kept pushing it. And we built up a lead. And then that was the only point in the game that we did that. And then, of course, the game got close.
Jay, what do you think? Oh, Amit, real quick. Take a look at the comment below. Tell me your thoughts on that. It's a really good point. I noticed that too.
I'd need more explanation there. Monty broke his he's saying that Monty broke his own tendencies by doing what?
But by starting a different lineup in the second half, bringing in Biombo even just for a second. They're having Chris Paul play as the 2 guard in some cases, so you didn't see him bringing the ball up all the time. You had Campaign actually running in. There was a few little nuances, but Bees, anything specific? Go ahead and write down. I'm curious of what you think.
Yeah, put it down there so we know. But I think we've seen Campaign and CP3 play together already, where Campaign brings the ball up. We've seen Booker bring the ball up. We've seen Jay Crowder. We've seen Mikal Bridges. So that wasn't anything new. I think the only thing new was when he brought Biombo in for just a short minute. Just to get, and I don't know what the foul situation was for Aiden at that point, but I know Cam Johnson had some foul trouble. He had 2 fouls in the first quarter. I'm not sure if he had 3 in the third, but I know like that might have been the situation where he put in what's his face the backup shooting guard.
Sorry, I'm replying to Flex.
Shamet.
Right, hold on.
Try to put Shamet in for Johnson. So, I mean, yeah, the only thing that I stood out to me that wasn't like a normal thing was the fact that he went with Biombo. I like that. I think we need to see more Biombo in this game because I think he can play defensive minutes for Aiden when Aiden isn't in the court, and then bring him in on offense like the way he did, in the third and fourth quarter.
Jay?
No, I agree. Monty, if you're watching this, if you're looking for different outlets and different opinions, dude, we want to see a double big lineup. Throw Biombo in. We need boards. We're
gonna have to against Milwaukee. Get a little practice, dog.
Yeah, but I wouldn't do it if you don't have Booker because you don't have enough offense.
You don't think we could do it for like the first 2 minutes of a quarter or the last 2 minutes, or we could throw it in there in the middle of the first quarter, like right before we sub out DA? Isn't there a 2-minute pocket we could try it?
I didn't see it where we had 18 minutes with Booker out against the number 10 seed in the playoffs. We couldn't do it against them.
We got to have it like in the bag. Like we have to. We got to have a JaVale and Aiden, or Aiden and Biombo sort of rotation play going on. But I definitely want to see it. I definitely think we can do it for a 2-minute stretch. But what the tendencies that Bees was talking about, I was fully expecting this, all the starters to be coming in right when the fourth quarter started, and they didn't come in until I want to say
CP3 came in at the 11-minute mark. It was exactly 1 minute, like 3 plays, and he was done. Oh, Beast just replied, hold on, what did he say? His willingness to adjust in game quickly. Normally, Monty isn't traditionally known for that as much. I noticed that a handful of times. And there was 2 or 3 times where they tried a full court press specifically out of a timeout too, and it slowed it down just for a minute. So it's just little things.
And in the third quarter too, it was huge when the Pelicans offense couldn't find a shot. They were really dragging down the shot clock, and they were taking shots at 3-4 seconds left, and it was just congested. They had Herb, Murphy, and who's the other guy? Headband.
I know who you're talking about.
Who?
Alvarado?
No.
Ingram?
Got it. No. I can't think of them. No, not Graham.
Nance, Marshall, Graham, Alvarado,
Marshall. It
Murphy?
was Marshall. It was Murphy, Marshall, and whatever. But and Herb, yeah. So they were just congesting the paint because they're relatively sort of big, long guys, and Brandon Ingram couldn't find those ISO situations, and McCollum he couldn't find an easy shot because Cam Johnson like has his arm up all the time, and so like that whole third quarter stretch of their two stars couldn't get any offensive momentum going really
That was
helped us in
huge.
the long run. Yeah, it was absolutely huge, and it was like a solid 5-6 minutes of that defense, and I knew we're trending into the right direction. Me and my cousin were texting back and forth about the whole thing, and him and I noticed the same thing. So.
Sorry, I'm looking for more pregame stuff. Did you all get to see that tweet where it said they needed that poke, they needed that hit, and Jackson Hayes supplies that?
Yeah.
So is that proof that they were sleepwalking through this and they needed to get amped up?
I don't think so. I think we've seen this team enough through the season where a lot of guys have been out and people had to start, people had to play big minutes, or people had to make big shots. Whether it was JaVale McGee, whether it was Shamet, whether it was Cam Johnson. Like I think,
bro.
Like I think honestly, like to be 100% honest, I don't think they're fully focused on this team. Like I don't think they're focused on the Pelicans.
Because this isn't the Suns team we've seen.
No, because they're looking at like who we playing in the second round. I think they're worried about that more than they are about this current opponent.
Like this is why I said after we secured the 1 seed and stuff that I just wanted to play it out. I wanted to keep that momentum because I was worried about going cold.
You were right. And
yeah, so if injuries are going to happen, then they're destined. But it's like you can't change what's inevitable. So that's why I wanted to play it out. And I mean, hopefully this game, really jolted us to perform at least 80% of the level that we've been competing with all year.
Chris Paul said after the game, it's a plus that the Suns could win this game despite the poor shooting numbers. They said they'll be in good shape on Sunday if they are able to produce the same open looks. Now, I've never watched a Suns game in the past 2 seasons where we haven't had good open looks. You know what I mean? It's just, do we hit them or do we not? It's been very, very rare. So that's what Chris Paul said. I dare ask, we don't see that type of shooting performance again, right? We said that last game about the Pelicans on offense. We don't see that. We kind of started with that. But
well, here's the thing. Okay, so let's just think back to the Suns and what you know about them. Who takes stupid shots? Cam Payne takes stupid shots. Jay Crowder takes stupid shots, right? Maybe you could say Booker takes some foolish shots here and there, but like he's so
unwise,
right? Same with CP3. Sometimes you're like, I don't know if I need that 3, but you're CP3, you take it. But everybody else, and maybe like JaVale McGee shooting a 3, but apparently he all makes every single one he takes. So like when you look at this team, all the shots they get are the shots they want, and they're open, and they're just not making them. And that actually is concerning. Like that to me concerned me. It goes through the entire season where I thought we would be the number 1 3-point shooting team, considering the wide open shots we get, and we don't make those shots.
Yeah,
we're like kind of middle of the pack when it comes to 3-point shooting. When you have guys like Shamet, Cam Johnson, Bridges, Crowder, Booker, and CP3 taking open threes, and we don't make.
I mean, we thought Cam Payne was money too. The only person that we knew was up and down was Jay Crowder. You thought everybody was pretty money. I mean, Booker's kind of up and down to a point, right? But
he's the same way with Crowder, where like he goes like 0 for 7 and then he goes like 5 for 7. You know what I mean? Like it like averages out at the end.
I think a lot of it has to do with just like how we went out. Just going like my fear was going cold going into the playoffs, regardless of who we played. If it was the Clippers or Minnesota, Pelicans, Spurs, whatever.
Specs, come on in. I sent you a link on Twitter. Come on in, bro. We're gonna end in like 10 minutes, but let's get your thoughts. Come on in, dude.
What's going on, Specs? Yeah, I was just worried about going cold, and I think, to me, being optimistic here, like I think we're just running through the motions and sets again. I'm like, we were a lot slower this game. We were really sloppy in game 2. I think we're just trying to get this momentum back, and I'm hoping this game was a justifier going forward, like the turning point in the series where we're back to our kind of like our full fruition, if you will. So I'm praying to God we don't have a shooting night like this again.
That's hard for me to swallow because I thought just the playoffs alone would do that.
This team is great, but like it was at 2.5 weeks of not playing competitive basketball, and then the week and a half on top of that, getting not knowing your opponent until 2 days before. Just saying, this play-in tournament really throws off the first and second seed because fucking Memphis lost to Minnesota. That first game. Then Memphis almost got blown out twice yesterday.
Minnesota blew that. Oh my God, you guys! Hey,
what's up?
Yeah, I literally just got back. I like rushed home to do this.
Hey, attaboy. Look, that is dedication.
I'm so thirsty. All right, what's going on, guys?
It's good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good,
bro. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Man, talk to me about what you saw, what you thought. I mean, obviously we touched on Jackson Hayes. We touched on the 15% from 3 shooting night, how how New Orleans had the best shooting night of their season last game. We have our worst this game, and DeAndre Ayton in his bag with the dribble and then with turnaround fadeaways. Chris Paul ending the night, but still at the end of the day, we got out rebounded a bunch, but we scored in the paint. What'd you think, man?
For starters, I thought it was like kind of weird that every single person to ever exist was saying, "Oh, like this just proves that the Suns aren't going to win." Like right before this game, because a lot of people were counting them out. And obviously, it wasn't the most prettiest game in the world. We can't have games this close every single time. But I think as soon as we get Booker back, and maybe as soon as we adjust to life without Booker, then we'll be fine for these upcoming games. With this actual game, though, I can't believe that Landry Shamet went up on Jackson Hayes like that. It was Hazy dunked on, right? It was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was.
I love it. I did not. I'm not gonna lie. I did not see that coming. Like I knew he could dunk. Yeah. I was like, wait, is that Hayes? I'm like, oh my God. Like, I did not expect that. And then Hayes getting ejected, I think that was just out of frustration because, like, the man was getting exposed and attacked the whole entire game. Like that Shamet dunk, and then Crowder got that rebound and then just out-bodied him. I mean, I'm looking at the statue right now. DA had a masterclass 28 and 17. I was looking at Chris Paul 28 and 14. Not Chris Paul turned into the CP3 that he can late in the game, which is I've talked about this very underrated aspect. And from the Pelican side, I mean, Brandon Ingram was Brandon Ingram, which doesn't surprise me.
Dude, he had a Booker type performance. 11 for 19, 3 of 6 from 3, 9 of 10 free throws, 7 rebounds. I mean, 2 assists and a block to boot. So he had a Devin Booker type of performance tonight, dog.
So let me ask you guys a question real quick. Do you guys think that Brandon Ingram has any level of Kevin Durant? He could be that level of player?
Well, not like this
he
season,
has
next season.
Skill too. How about that?
Yeah. Because with a lot of players that become greats, no one talks about this, but for the first couple seasons, they're not. It takes them like 7 to 10 years to reach that level. So maybe in like the next couple years, and as New Orleans gets better, he can become that role.
But so Durant did that after what, 3 years? 4 years? When did he go to the finals?
2014, 15.
Drafted in 06.
Year 4 for him, right?
Drafted in 06. They went in 12, right? So it was 6 years.
Oh no, never mind.
6 years. So Brandon Ingram's past that point. He hasn't proven that he can be a defensive player because KD was a two-way player when he started.
But he's got a legitimate sidekick now.
Yeah.
And a good coach.
Also, KD's a top 5 player all the time. At least he might end as that. And BI, I'm not saying he's not going to be top 5, but he's not at that level right now. Like, he could be, but I mean, any player could be. To be fair,
I think he can be next season. He can be a legitimate top 7 player. Top 5 is a little hard for me to swallow right now, but top 7. I mean, look, dude. Next year you're gonna have Phoenix, Memphis, New Orleans, and probably the Clippers in the top 4.
yeah.
Pelicans are on a trajectory right now. Like they finally have a solid core. They're definitely going to make moves in the offseason. I think they're appealing to a lot of free agents. I like Terrence Ross is on the chopping block and stuff. If they acquire like someone like Terrence Ross and have that outside shooting, I mean that would be big for them. But that core when Brandon Ingram first came into the league with that Lakers core with Nance, Hart, and Clarkson and stuff, that just wasn't a good team. But Brandon Ingram was sort of carrying that core, and then when he came to New Orleans, he lost his footing. Like there was nothing out here. And then finally, when Zion comes in, it kind of changed the culture a little bit, getting that number 1 pick and stuff. But like there's late bloomers. I'm not gonna totally write off Brandon Ingram. I've always liked him as a player. But I think Brandon Ingram is a solid player. I think he's really good, and I think this year might be sort of the turning point into his trajectory, especially with CJ McCollum hitting. You got to put up the picture, man. You got to put it up.
I normally have that in the set of my videos, but I forgot to add it when I got back. So
he's on fire.
I feel bad for Brandon Ingram because he had to deal with LeBron that 1 year, which really stunted his growth as a player because he didn't get the chance to be a playmaker. I don't know why. What's that?
I don't know why they pushed for Kuzma being the 3rd option.
That was
I don't
stupid.
know why they did that.
No, because they needed another big guy, another wing player against LeBron, playing with LeBron. But his playmaking suffered. I really think that overall, like, I'm not sold on Ingram's defense.
No.
Forward.
But you can improve that also. You could improve that.
He can improve it, but he's long, right? Like he should be able to be better than what he is.
Well, that's what we said about Durant. Durant was never that guy either.
Yeah.
There was a period with OKC early in his career where I remember like he dapped up LeBron in the playoffs when they were just D'ing each other up. They were hitting threes on each other. Like, you guys remember that?
Yeah, and that's the thing about NBA, dude. It's like, these dudes can do it. They can. They just pick and choose when to sometimes. So it's hard to diagnose about the defensive thing, but you're not wrong. I mean, he's
2017 to 2018, he was not playing defense. When he was on the Warriors, he was not playing defense.
But to Amit's point, I don't notice him out there right now making any type of defensive plays that are impacting the game at all.
No, not that I know of.
No.
I mean, I don't think he has to be like a top defender as long as he's not a liability on defense. I think that's really all that matters. Like, you can be average, but as long as you're not a liability.
Yeah, but being average when you're like 6'10" and have like a 7-foot wingspan is different. Like that's Mikal Bridges, like defensive player. Like you should be defensive player of the year.
How tall is Mikal? Like 6'7"?
6'8". Hey, everybody give a round of applause to Iverson for making it through his tough time in life as a Suns fan. Good job.
I know it's hard, Iverson. I know it's hard, but you just gotta ride it out, man.
It could be worse. He could be a Jazz fan.
He could be a Bulls fan.
Oh my god.
No. Or a T-Wolves fan. Imagine getting all hype.
That's a JV, man. I know you were pulling for.
Oh yeah, JV
finals.
One of these teams is gonna win, and they're gonna talk like the most shit out of anyone. Like that's what I'm here for at this point.
And here's Embiid getting his thumb hurt. Looks like the same thing that CP had, but he's gonna play through it. Kyle Lowry hurt his hamstring, by the way, tonight.
Oh, did he?
The Hawks, and the Hawks won by 1.
Oh, someone said he got fouled, or he like fouled out or something. Because like, why isn't Lowry playing? Is that what happened? Like, got injured?
He didn't get fouled out.
Oh shit. Okay.
He got hurt. You have the Jazz acting like somebody got injured, but that's a whole different story. Luka still ain't back, and there's absolutely no reason to rush him now. And then all of a sudden in the East, was it Robert Williams that's coming back for?
Yeah, Williams is coming back for the Celtics.
It sounds like Simmons is coming back too. Did you see that?
Yeah, game.
Oh my God! How did I forget? Tomorrow's game's gonna be epic.
I promise you.
I'm definitely going to tune in.
Is he coming back for game 3 or game 4? Robert Williams.
4.
Okay. if they win game 3, when Robert Williams comes back, they're gonna sweep them. I promise you. I don't care if Ben Simmons has like 30 and 10. Like, I don't think that's gonna make that big of a difference compared to what the Celtics are able to do.
Isn't Ben Simmons coming back for game 4? Or is he coming back?
I think so.
I swear
I've read game 4.
They've been pushing for game 3,
right.
but I think let me see. Ben Simmons.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up too.
I'm pretty
Great
sure it's
audio
game
content
4.
for all of our wonderful listeners. Which, by the way, if you guys,
yeah, game 4. That's like the main headline right now.
I want to give a shout out to everybody listening. In the past like 10 podcasts, we've been almost matching as many listens on our audio platform as we have on our YouTube platform. Believe it or not. So, so shout out to everybody listening on Spotify, Google Playlists, Apple Podcasts, and all that fun stuff, and Anchor. And please donate to our Anchor account if you so choose to. Specs, what else did you notice, dog?
Honestly, I obviously Phoenix could play better, but they're still adjusting without Devin Booker. But Jay Crowder sometimes just it's so annoying with me with Jay Crowder sometimes. Like sometimes he's like the most.
Don't start with me.
I don't say role player isn't the right word because like role player is someone for the bench, but he's like I don't know the right way. Like I guess system play or whatever. And then there's times where like the man shoots 0 for 26. Like it's not a good feeling, especially when we need our depth right now. You know, we need certain guys to step up. But honestly, I thought they played pretty well for the circumstances they're going through right now.
Yeah, Nick, if I would point the concern on anybody, I love that. I would point the concern against campaign because like Crowder, he's on the floor, he's playing defense, he's passing the ball, he's not like jacking up shots. He's taking the shots that are there for him, and then he makes the 1 3 that he needs to make, right? Like he makes the 1 3 that he needs to make. Campaign is just wild. Like that dude is wild. Like, what are you doing, bro?
Let me look.
Right? Am I wrong?
No, you're fully. Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the box score right now so I can get some exact numbers on campaign.
Here, I'll pull it up on screen so everybody that's watching
perfect.
can see as well too. Stand by, and I'll make it bigger too.
God damn, yeah.
But a lot of the stuff that Jay Crowder does isn't going to show up in the box score.
Yeah,
you know?
no, yeah, that's why I'm okay with Jay Crowder, like struggling from shooting because he's gonna do other things like that don't show up on the stat sheet. But campaign shooting 1 for 5, going 0 for 2 from the 3, and if you just watch the game, he had 0. Wait, no 3. I lied. 3. I lied. Wait, no, never mind. I was looking at points 4. No, it's 0. Yeah, 0 turnovers. Wait, oh man, we barely had any turnovers. Like what?
Yeah,
3?
we had 5 turnovers.
Oh, yeah,
5
I
to
didn't see
14.
Yeah,
That was the difference of the game.
Yeah, because I've always said that the 2 biggest things in a game when it comes to matchup is the rebounding and turnovers. Did you win the turnover battle? Did you win the rebounding battle? Because if you won both, chances are you probably won the game. Like obviously you need to score more points than the other team. That's kind of how basketball works. But like having like out rebounding the other team and limiting your turnovers is very important. And what you said, New Orleans had 14 turnovers.
Yep, 14. God,
do you know who we haven't talked about? JaVale. JaVale was eating.
Man,
I love JaVale McGee.
He was he lucky or was he good tonight?
I mean, good.
7 for 8. I mean, yeah,
15 points. I don't know why he's -9, probably because of defense, but yeah, he was eating, man.
You ain't wrong.
He took full and took that karma and turned it into a left-hand hook shot. What the hell?
Yeah.
Left-hand hook shot. What was that?
It was a thing of beauty. It was a thing of beauty is what that was.
It was. I love watching JaVale play. He's I think he's like arguably the best backup like center in the NBA.
Not arguably.
It's like a weird thing to say, like, oh, the best backup center. But it's kind of important to think about. Yeah. All right, good. I'm glad we're on the same page.
We said this in the beginning of the year, like going into the year. I'm like, this is the best possible backup center you can have.
Yeah.
And then when we got Biyombo, not to say Biyombo's
like who is number 2 or number 1 in who's the best backup center in the NBA besides JaVale?
So is Steven Adams starting right now because they have Triple J out? He's starting right now. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like actually
Dwayne Dedman.
Bro, don't talk about Dwayne Dedman. Man.
I mean, Max
Rudy's
Clever,
who's Rudy's back?
I like Naz Reid. Naz Reid's good, but he's not the best.
Yeah. But
Thomas Bryant, I like when he actually gets healthy. I think he could be
He's
up
not
there.
healthy. Yeah.
yeah, but JaVale
Not playing
McGee
either.
could start on a championship team, honestly. Like, didn't he with the Lakers? If I'm not
No.
mistaken. Like,
No, he was
He was a
backup.
backup on the Lakers, but he
Yeah.
definitely won there.
and
Yeah.
he was a backup with the Warriors.
Yes.
yeah.
He started for most of the year for one
Yeah.
of those years.
And then they probably changed their line
Forgot.
for something like that. But no, I'm glad we got JaVale, especially it was during the Olympics, right? When when we signed him, or was that like
Yeah,
yeah.
it was
Yeah.
like a right after or something. I mean, Chris Paul went up to him after the Denver series, and then Book was on the team with him. So
JaVale knew what was up after
Yeah.
that sweep. He went right to CP.
I mean, he knew where he was going.
Yeah,
I gotta hop out here soon, fellas. I am just exhausted after today and ripping my damn toenail off of my big toe. That was awesome
Oh,
today. But
nice.
Specs, I know you just hopped on, man. But so pop off for a minute on anything else that you saw and what you want to see moving forward, and then we'll get out of here.
So I was gonna talk about this today, but I waited because I wanted to see how this game would play out. But I find it so weird that Phoenix, not Devin Booker, Phoenix is what 64-18, had the best record in the NBA. They're doing all these things, and it's not like we're certain teams where we have to rely on like with the Mavericks. If Luka doesn't average 30 points per game playing against any team not named the Utah Jazz, they're gonna lose. Like there's certain teams.
Right.
The hell? Oh wait, sorry. Like I had ESPN pulled up and like it started playing to
yeah,
me
we know.
audio.
I hate when that
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah. I was like, wait, what are you playing? Yeah, but no, like this team does well all year, and they're like as a team, even the record without Book is like 8-3. And somehow when it's not like he's gonna miss the whole season so far. It's not like he's gonna he might miss the whole series, but that's like them being conservative with it. And now we're saying, oh, they're gonna lose in round one. Like, oh, they're not gonna win anymore. Their season's over. Like, when did this become the thing to have like them underrated because of one injury that's gonna last 1 to 2, maybe 3 games? Like, I thought that was so odd to me. Like, I don't know. People were probably just waiting for this to happen because I saw a bunch
Skip
of
and
people.
Shannon wrote us off today.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So did Kendrick Perkins.
But don't get me
Perkins
started.
is everywhere. Dude.
Perkins is on Memphis though. He's been on Memphis for like the
No,
longest time.
he's off of Memphis now. He said the Celtics are going to win it all today.
No way.
So he changes his mind every single day. Jay Will on was it? I don't know which Will. Oh, maybe it was Gambo and whatever his name is. Jay Will said he went with New Orleans. Everybody went with New Orleans. I mean, he ride with a hot hand, right? I mean,
Yeah.
look what Ingram and McCollum did.
Yeah.
I don't blame him for doing that because I had my reservations like hell. I was going off this and that. I don't feel comfortable, but I never came out and said I thought they were going to win and beat us. I was never going to count out this team.
I mean, were you supposed to feel comfortable about it? Like, no, you don't have your best player. You weren't supposed to be comfortable about it, but that's fine because good teams adjust.
We got a shout out from Bees. Your videos are awesome, dude. Keep up the good work. Attaboy, Specs.
I appreciate it.
If you could go out to the trade deadline, what would you get? Dude, Eric Gordon.
Yes. Okay, I'm glad
we
you
need Eric Gordon. We need Eric Gordon. That's all I was thinking about this game. I'm like, dude, if we had some sort of shooting, like coming off the bench, it needs to be Eric Gordon. Like Eric Gordon would be perfect. He would have been perfect for this game.
Where's Campaign? Where's Campaign? He's supposed to be that dude. He was that dude.
We didn't say he had to shoot.
Well, the new Sonic movie just came out, so that's where he's at.
I would play Shaman at point guard and Gordon at shooting guard. That's what I would do.
I was a little shocked to see Cam at the 2. That's where they played him, right? At least I thought that's what they said.
They ran some different sets when he was out there, but I think he was supposed to be like. I think it was just Chris Paul, a center, and some wings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This felt very much like an Oklahoma City of 2 years ago team when Chris Paul was on that team. That's what this felt like.
It was a weird lineup. I'm not gonna lie. Like I thought they were gonna start like Shaman or maybe Payne and Paul. They've done that before, but I didn't really expect to see Cam Johnson at the 2. That kind of.
I've been holding this back because we're in season, championship hopes, yada yada yada. But I just want to know what you guys think of this free agent acquisition that I would love to sign to a long-term deal and maybe a sign and trade. What y'all think of instead of Landry getting Mr. Lou Dort over here?
I actually love Lou Dort because
I
I'm
love
I'm,
Lou
I'm,
Dort.
I'm an ASU fan. I saw him when he was there. Like I loved watching him. He's an amazing defender. He's very underrated, but
Forks up.
I mean, it really depends what it would be a free agent move, right? Like when's his
Correct.
contract then?
Correct. This year.
Oh, this year.
He's a
Okay.
free agent.
It really depends because he's unrestricted, so he could leave if he wants to.
Yeah,
If-
man.
If Phoenix is willing to give him I mean, he was taking what $2 million in OKC. If they even gave him $5 million, if we got Lou Dort, that'd be a very underrated, just like JaVale, a very underrated move, but it's a very key move. Like I personally think JaVale, because I did an offseason video, and a lot of people saying, "Oh, D, they didn't do anything." JaVale was a very big upgrade. It's not like we got a huge superstar or another, superstar player, but we got JaVale, which was very important. If we get Lou Dort, I would probably give them an A. Like even if they didn't do another thing, I would say they had a really good offseason. Like I think.
He's a way better defender than Shamet, way better than probably any perimeter guard that we would have. I mean, and then combine the fact that he's going to guard Michaela, he's going to guard Booker and stuff in practice and everything, and iron sharpens iron type of thing. He is an elite defender and is way better from 3 than he used to be at ASU.
Yeah.
And he's way more athletic than what we currently have too. So to me, it's an upgrade all around. I wanted to save that. We're in season. We still got Shamet. Yada yada yada. I just wanted to throw that to you.
No, I mean the only thing I'd say is I would try to develop Ish Wainwright into that guy.
Yeah.
I love Ish.
He's kind of raw though. Like he's
really raw, but
it's something you got to work with.
That 20-point game he had against the Clippers.
Yeah,
he refined his game. He learned he's changed.
We have a lot of options. Saric comes back. Do you really want Crowder to be there? You could trade Crowder off. Ish can step up. You got Torrey Craig for another year. What do you think, JJ? You got something?
Yeah. So I'm looking at the free agents right now, and I have 2 I think would really help our bench depth. Either Gary Harris. I'm a big Gary Harris guy. I think he's really solid.
Man.
I like Gary.
But he's a little pricey. But guess who else is on the free agent block? Jalen Brunson.
Eric Bledsoe.
Nah, we not doing that again. we not doing that.
Where's that jersey, bro? Where's that Eric Bledsoe jersey? I got rid of mine. But
who's your other one?
Jalen Brunson.
I don't think
he's gonna get a bag. He's gonna get a bag.
I think someone like Sacramento, even though it won't be Sacramento, is gonna go after him, like Cleveland or something. Cleveland would go after him.
They're gonna. I promise you, they're gonna give him a stupid bag that maybe he doesn't really deserve because it's statistically proven when you play Utah, your numbers look so much better. So I think he knows that team's not gonna win it this year. He's just playing for a bag, and he's probably gonna get a really big contract, but I'm not sure it's fully warranted.
I'm just saying 1.2 million if he wants to come to a championship caliber team and have a great role. I mean,
I would love him for 1.2 million. I wouldn't mind that, but he's gonna want 10 to 15 to maybe.
We're not getting him for 1.2. Definitely.
Oh hell no.
We definitely have to throw some money at him, but I'm just saying, wishful thinking. But Gary Harris, I think, would be really nice.
Senor Roy over here going crazy for a Dwayne
Bacon.
But obviously, this is all after giving the max to DA. B says, go get DeJounte Murray. Yeah, that's another 2 years down the road. Or SGA. I'll take SGA too, but
I would love SGA.
Now we're just popping off right now. There's no real thing.
I wish
anybody's talking about. One thing. Did anybody else see Justin Holiday in the crowd rocking his brother's jersey with an orange beanie? Anybody else see that?
No, I didn't see that. Shout out to Justin, man.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
So let's get Justin Holiday.
Yeah, let's go get him too. I mean, they did play together in Indiana. That didn't work out so well, but different culture. Different culture.
Yeah, fair. We're trying to win a championship over here.
Anybody else got anything they wanna add in before I sign off?
DA's playing for the max. That's really about it. Like he's gonna play for this max, and he fully deserves it. I'm just saying that right now. But yeah, go ahead.
JJ.
Yeah, DA just needs to keep up with the same production, if not better. If he keeps on putting up these numbers, I mean, just about everybody's saying pay that man, but I don't think a lot of people have watched the regular season Suns and how quiet he can be. But as long as he shows up in the playoffs, this year is going to be really big. And if he wants that max, he has to work for it. And this game is only sort of the start of that conversation going forward. It's easy for other broadcasters around Bally Sports or ESPN to say pay that man, but like we've watched just about every game. We were skeptical, talking about this last year, just last year in general. So DA has to work for it, man. His production needs to stay up and just keep exposing these centers, man.
I mean, I don't expect him to average 28 and 17 this whole series, but if he has like 15 and like 10 or 15 and 12 and can help us out rebound the other team, then we're going to be in a good situation. I guess the last thing I did want to touch up, and this is just like a question, but it's like LeBron does the things he's doing at 37. Like, he's still good. Like, that's not really up for debate. But why doesn't Chris Paul get the same type of love for what he's doing? Like, the Lakers weren't a number 1 seed. The Lakers didn't even make the play-in. Meanwhile, Chris Paul was one of the biggest reasons why the Suns are currently the best team in basketball.
People hate him, man.
I'll never get the Chris Paul slander. I've always liked him.
I hated him before he came to my team, just for what it's worth.
I mean,
but why though? What's your reason?
I hate playing him. I didn't hate him. I hate playing him. Like I hate playing Patrick Beverly, but I love Beverly. Like I
hated that he played for the Clippers, and I hate LA. I hated that he went to play with James Harden because I hated James Harden. Yeah. And then Mike D'Antoni was there and they were getting success, and I hated Mike D'Antoni for his BS job over here. Then I respected him more when he went to OKC, But that's just fandom. Lakers fans hated LeBron before he joined. So shit.
How I viewed it was he spent a lot of time in New Orleans. He had a lot of success, but it didn't go anywhere. He was there for 8 years.
Wanted the big market.
Wanted the big he wanted the big market. He transitioned to a upcoming team, went to the Clippers, carried them to as far as a semis. It just never ended up working out. And with Houston, James Harden needed to win one more game. Chris Paul got him to 65 wins, whatever it was. And James Harden couldn't just win one game. Yeah, his hamstring went out, but injuries are
they're inevitable.
Yeah. So there's nothing you can do about it. If James Harden and the team are going to throw up one of the worst 3-point shooting nights in a high stakes game ever, I mean, like who in history, like who does that really fall on? Not Chris Paul. Man. Yeah, he was hurt, but like, what are you going to do? Then his transition to OKC, like he was supposed to be off the map, but carry them to a 5th seed and almost be the Russell Westbrook and James Harden Rockets. And it came down to the last like 3-4 minutes in a game 7 in the bubble that Chris Paul didn't win that. And now Chris is still, progressing his game and elevating people and stuff. And there's only a handful of guys in NBA history you can kind of talk about that with. I've always been a fan of Chris Paul. Yeah, like I didn't necessarily like him playing in LA, but I had no reason to hate the Clippers because the Clippers were never that good.
Yeah,
to begin with.
They're a joke of an organization. Can we get them moved to like Maine or something? Like they don't deserve to be in LA. No, like or like
go to Seattle.
I was gonna like give them to Alaska or something. Like they don't even deserve Seattle. They don't even deserve that. Like
Seattle needs a team, man.
There's two teams around the way, man. 2 teams around the way. All right, I gotta cut y'all off. I gotta get going, but let's talk offline a little bit. I'm not gonna run the video or anything. We're just gonna say peace out. You guys have a good night. Like,